Now, I'm looking forward to my lunch break guest just after 12 o'clock. Jenny joins me in the studio, and we're going to be talking about some of the incredible things that you can find that are featured in Snoopers Paradise. Now, these are real treasures. So, just an example. What appears to be an ordinary framed picture of a wedding venue reveals something extraordinary when the backing is removed. Hidden inside is the handwritten signature of every guest who attended a wedding there in 1957, preserving one family's celebration for almost 70 years. Isn't that a lovely idea? There is also some incredible stuff that you can find. For Albion supporters, there's a framed souvenir print marking Brighton and Hove Albion's FA Cup tie against Sheffield United on the 7th of January 1922. It records Brighton's 1-0 win, offering a snapshot of football history more than a century old. And you can also find, I like the family archives, a wooden box of carefully catalogued colour slides records Christmas 1958, holidays to Mallorca and Benidorm in 1959, and moments from one family's life taking you back to the 1950s. There's loads more as well, and we're going to talk more about this to Jenny Hurren, who is my lunch break guest today, who joins me from Snoopers Paradise to talk about some of those very human stories that lurk there behind the stock that's on sale. That's the subject of today's lunch break. I've been looking forward to this because there are some fascinating stories that my lunch break guest is going to share with me today. I'm delighted to welcome into the studio Jenny Hurren, who joins me from Snoopers Paradise, which in itself is an amazing name for what is a variety of different stalls with all kinds of weird and wonderful things.
Yeah, over 90 of us in Snoopers.
How did it all come about then?
It's a family business, and we took over the old Blundell's furniture shop on Kensington Gardens in the heart of the North Lane over 30 years ago, and it's slowly kind of morphed into this collective of individual traders selling everything you can possibly imagine.
I think that's what brings people to Brighton, though, isn't it? We hear so often that the high street has got homogenised. There is no Snoopers Paradise anywhere else.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. It's a fascinating place, and I think it reflects Brighton really well as well. We're creative, we're eclectic, we're a little bit eccentric. It's a special place. And
so how did you tell us about your involvement then? It's family business, so is this something that you've just always loved being involved in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from up north. I don't know if you can tell. I came to Brighton as a tourist many years ago and just wandered into this shop and I just found myself in heaven. In all honesty, it was just the best place in the world. I'm very interested in all of...
Did you buy anything when you wandered in? I'd love to know what you bought.
Almost certainly. I think I bought some dried flowers under a dome, which is a collection. I collect those. I have about 300 of them in my mum's attic.
Do you?
At some point I will sell them, yes. But I think I bought one of those.
Every time you see something like that, you have to buy it?
Yeah, every time. And it just keeps on going.
Tell us this, because I shared a couple of stories about some of the items there, and actually I find these quite moving. So this is a wedding picture, and I think this is a really lovely idea as well. So they took the picture, and then behind the picture there's the signature of every guest who attended. What a brilliant idea. Why don't people do that?
Yeah, it is a really nice idea. I think it might be a drawing actually, or a painting of what looks like a very sort of boring building. And this is what I did. I picked this thing up because I was deliberately in the shop just looking a little bit more closely at items one afternoon, because it's a very overwhelming place. You can walk in and get completely sort of, it's a feast for the eyes. But when you actually slow down and start looking at the individual objects a bit more closely, that's when all of these fascinating stories come out. And I looked at this very boring picture of this building and wondered why someone might have drawn it or painted it. And when I turned it over, on the back it said to commemorate the wedding of, I can't remember the names, in 1957, signed on the back by the many present. And when I took the back
so
off,
nice.
out emerged this enormous, very high quality sheet full of signatures of every single guest that attended that wedding over 70 years ago.
And you just think all those lives lived since then, all those people that were at that wedding, it makes you wonder what the day was like.
Exactly.
How the couple's wedding unfolded and,
yes.
and their marriage. I love this as well. This is really beautiful. A framed souvenir print marking Brighton and Hove Albion's FA Cup tie against Sheffield United on the 7th of January 1922.
Yeah, 1922. And all the players are photographed in that. They're in their sort of early 20s football kit with the names. And it's a great piece of local history and a reminder as well that you know, people have passionately followed that club since, you know, for well over 100 years.
Some of this goes back years as well. You've got the brass rubbings depicting John and Mary Shelley of Clapham, West Sussex, died in 1526. A member of the team recognised them as his own ancestor. I mean, this sounds like the start of a film, really.
This was incredible. So I found myself looking at these enormous brass Tudor rubbings thinking, you know, who are these people? And one of the team, the Snoopers staff, kind of sidled up to me and just told me very casually that they were his ancestors. And his girlfriend had been researching their family tree a few weeks prior, and he found out that he was related to John and Mary Shelley, who died in, I think it was 1526, which was just unbelievable. And even more unbelievable was the fact that he didn't buy them.
It's just why did he not buy? You just think you'd have that, wouldn't you?
They were too ugly for his house.
Oh,
I said put them in the downstairs bathroom. You know,
now you have a stall yourself. So what sort of things do you collect and sell?
So I sell early to mid 20th century homeware. Anything from sort of 1920s like Art Deco up to the 1980s, really. I'm very into aesthetics, you know, colourful glassware, lighting, anything that really looks the part.
And so it must be really lovely actually to get into conversation with customers who find that perfect item to make their interior look really good.
Yeah, it is. I'm not in the shop very often. I go there to stock up and display and polish, and then I get out of the way of the customers. But when I happen to be in the shop with customers, it is amazing to hear, you know, their reaction to the place.
How do you gather all this stuff then? You said to me off air that you're constantly on the lookout.
It is a constant labour of love. Every single day I bring something home with me whenever I'm out. So it is, you know, you can't go on holiday without bringing a whole truckload of stuff back. It's car boot sales, it's Facebook Marketplace, it's charity shops, but you know, you have to really hunt for certain things. It takes a lot of time and effort.
Well, give me an example of one of your favourite items that you've discovered recently.
Recently, I found, it's another picture, but I found an oil painting of some flowers. Very sort of standard looking. Well, it was pretty. I would have bought it anyway. But when I looked closely, it had some hinges on one side, and you pulled it open to reveal like a little cupboard.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Behind the painting, which was amazing.
So you put your secret stuff behind
there. A secret
there.
cupboard. Yeah, you couldn't have fitted much in there, but you know, enough.
Would it be big enough to hide chocolate from my teenagers?
100%.
You see, that's what you need, isn't it? Secret stuff. And what's really lovely is this is all. I mean, there's sort of quite poignant about the fact this is people's treasured items from the years. They've all got a bit of history behind them.
Yeah, that's the really lovely thing, that every item in the shop has a story, and we're not a museum where everything's behind glass and perfectly curated. You know, you can go and discover these stories for yourself, and then you can become part of that item's story by owning it yourself.
We're going to talk more in just a moment. We're going to talk about a 19th century midwifery teaching. Well, there's pretty much everything in there. I can't believe you've got midwifery items in there, but you have. We'll talk more about that in just a moment after Alex Warren. We are here with Jenny Hurren, who's my lunch break guest from Snoopers Paradise, who fell in love with Snoopers Paradise, loved it so much that you wanted your own stall, and that you've been there now, you said 2018, didn't you? 8 years.
Yeah.
And then during the COVID months, you thought, well, website, all that sort of stuff. Can you buy stuff online from there then?
You can't buy stuff online, no. We're very much bricks and mortar.
But you can see...
Come and experience
you
us.
can, yeah, exactly. You need to hold and look and...
You
and,
do.
And tell me about this midwifery item then that you discovered in there. And these items that we're talking about, this is just you when you were just wandering around and you just discovered some things.
Yeah, literally one afternoon. So I'm obviously always in the shop, but this one afternoon I decided to look a bit closer at things.
Right.
And one of the items I pulled out was a very tatty looking book. Extremely tatty, in fact, with lots of pages ripped out, and on the front it said it was a Victorian German midwifery teaching guide. And when you opened it, it was quite shocking actually, because it was like full colour pictures, of quite explicit pictures
of
difficult pregnancies from the Victorian era, and how to help women through difficult pregnancies and childbirths. And quite a shocking piece of literature from that
but
era.
Fascinating as well, and the sort of thing that, I don't know, if someone's going off to university trained to be a midwife,
yes,
what a great gift!
What a great gift!
So, and that's it, isn't it? You can go in there and find something just really different and unusual,
very different, and usually very specific to. If you are looking for a gift, it can be a great place to find something extremely specific.
I think this is really moving as well. The family's colour slides, looking at Christmas 1958.
Yes,
looking at those family memories.
Yeah, lovely box of very carefully categorised slides of a particular family at a particular time. There's one, you hold it up to the light and you can see sort of Jim, Carol and Auntie Gladys all having a sangria in Benidorm.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Totally unaware.
So it's just bringing a completely different era to life.
Yes.
And that family were not aware that all these years later they would find themselves in Snoopers Paradise with their collection.
Exactly.
Where's the website then? Because it sounds like there's lots to see online as well.
It's www.snoopersparadise.co.uk. And it lists, just a snapshot of what we've got in the shop on the website. It's impossible to name every category of every item that we sell, because every trader specialises in something different.
And this is people's unique interest, really. So
yes.
You've got 90 traders and they've all got sort of some, I can imagine some of them quite bizarre and unusual interests.
Yeah.
They've got. Yeah,
my neighbour next to me, who is the one who was selling the German midwifery guide, funnily enough, he states that he I think seeks out and eagerly buys unusual old items, things that are specifically weird. He'll sell teeth and bones.
Oh my goodness.
And, all sorts of really bizarre things.
Do people come in and buy teeth and bones and stuff?
I don't know what they do.
Makes you wonder what you do with it.
But it's endlessly popular, actually, not just to look at, but to take home. And weird souvenirs.
Well, it certainly sounds the place to come for if you're looking for a tricky person that's got everything birthday present.
100%.
You'll find something they haven't got in there.
Yeah.
Most definitely. How do people find you?
We're in the heart of the North Lane in Kensington Gardens, so very close to the train station. Take a left off Queen's Road and you find yourself in the North Lane, and ask anyone, any local, and they'll know where Snoopers Paradise is.
But you can spend hours just rummaging and looking.
Yes.
And kind of some of those memories as well.
And you absolutely should. We say, allow at least 2 hours, but, more ideally. That's why it's Snoopers Paradise, is because you can.
And you don't,
really
some places you go into and you feel like everyone's eyeing you up and waiting for you to buy something. You can just literally go in and have a wander around without.
You can stay for hours, without anyone worrying about that. You're absolutely right. It's a nice, relaxed shopping experience when it's not too busy, and this taught me actually to slow down and look at things more closely, because that's when some of the really fascinating things begin to emerge. And
it sounds like a great way to while away an afternoon.
Oh, definitely.
Just go in, have a look around. It's been an absolute joy to see you. Thank you so much for coming into the studio and being our lunch break guest.
Thanks so much
for
having me.
That.